if that's the best way to put it. I had shown up. I had done everything I was asked to do. I did it to the best of my ability. I helped the channel grow. When I joined, it was at 4 million. And when I left, I think we had just passed 30 million. But it was a mutual leaving. I had already I'd already told him multiple times, what I wanted to do was kind of be my own boss, do my own thing. I like streaming. I like being able to get in front of the camera and entertain people through playing video games or whatever it is. I wanted to be able to make my own videos. I wanted the opportunity to travel and to go places. Me and MrBeast, or me and Jimmy, did not have any type of falling out. There was no argument. There was no bashing. There was none of that. It was very mutual because it was something I was already contemplating, not if, but when this was going to happen. And it kind of got spent.
MrBeast is facing massive backlash right now, and the shocking part is that much of the criticism is coming from people who were once part of his own team. The situation keeps getting more intense, and many fans are surprised by how far these allegations supposedly reach behind the scenes. Several former employees have now shared their experiences, describing what they claim was a stressful, demanding, and difficult workplace that most viewers never got to see. Their accounts have sparked even more debate as people question what was really happening away from the cameras. According to these former team members, they claim this was not just a one-time issue. They say the pressure continued to grow over time as the channel exploded across YouTube and social media, making the work environment feel more demanding with each new milestone. What makes the situation even more surprising is that some of these accounts allegedly go all the way back to the early days of MrBeast's rise online. Several familiar faces from those older viral videos later explained why they decided to leave the team, and some of their claims reportedly created serious public discussion that put extra attention on MrBeast's reputation. Fans once believed the crew was just a close group of friends having fun, pulling off wild challenges and making crazy videos together on camera. Behind that image, some later claimed things were far more complicated.
MrBeast's companies are facing a legal challenge of their own.
MrBeast's nice off camera. I assume you guys just always wondered, so thought I would ask. P Green, I'll be real with you. I ain't answering no.
Which I really wasn't. I just wanted help. Comes in the room and he goes, "You absolute fucking get back in that fucking room, or I swear to God, Turner. Jesus Christ, how many fucking times do I have to tell you how to edit this video? What are you, a fucking..."
But after rumors about behind-the-scenes tension started spreading online, more people began paying closer attention to what former team members were saying. People started looking at the entire brand in a very different way, and more recently, the situation has become even more chaotic. MrBeast was also reportedly named in a lawsuit filed by a former employee involving serious allegations related to workplace conduct, which quickly sparked even more debate and intense discussion across social media. The allegations drew massive attention almost immediately, and the story spread quickly across the internet. Social media filled up with reactions, debates, and non-stop speculation as people tried to figure out what was really happening behind the scenes. Back in the early days of the channel, Jake the Viking was one of the biggest fan favorites and a key part of the crew's online image. So when he unexpectedly left the team in early 2020, many fans were caught off guard. His farewell video went on to earn more than 18 million views, showing just how well known and important he had become to the audience. At first, Jake made it seem like everything behind the scenes was completely fine. His public comments gave fans the impression that there were no major problems surrounding his departure. He told viewers there was no bad blood between him and MrBeast and said they were still on good terms after going their separate ways. Many fans believed him, especially because his exit appeared much smoother than those of several other former crew members who left later. In his original goodbye video, Jake spoke positively about his time on the channel and offered very little criticism.
Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You saw the title, you know what it's about. Here we go. We're just gonna dive straight into it. So as you may have noticed, you probably, if you're a MrBeast fan, you probably have noticed I have not been in the videos as of late. My piece no longer fit the puzzle.
At the time, MrBeast had a strong reputation as one of YouTube's best creators to work with, and many fans accepted that image without much question. Based on how Jake described things, MrBeast came across as supportive, respectful, and easy to work with behind the camera. But as the months went by, some viewers noticed subtle changes in Jake's tone during live streams and online conversations. He started making comments that seemed to suggest things may not have been as perfect as they first appeared, and those small remarks quickly grabbed attention across social media, leading to more questions and growing speculation from viewers.
MrBeast companies are facing a legal challenge of their own, just as Jimmy Donaldson himself took the stage at the Time 100 Summit as one of the world's most influential people.
Some of Jake's comments were fairly subtle, but viewers quickly noticed the change in his tone and started paying much closer attention. That was the point where online discussions really took off, with more people following the story and looking back at past interviews and videos. At first, Jake consistently told fans there was no drama, no tension, and no problems between him and MrBeast or the rest of the crew. Later, though, he made comments that seemed to suggest the public image seen on camera might not fully reflect everything that happened behind the scenes. That shift led many people online to wonder if there was more to the story. Some viewers accused Jake of seeking attention or adding to the controversy, while others believed there may have been private disagreements that he chose not to discuss while he was still connected to the brand. Either way, fans began questioning which version of events was the most accurate.
No hard feelings anywhere, and the fact that I was able to be a part of one of the best YouTube channels in the world, and learn from one of the best and be a part of the best, and kind of put that on my resume and kind of check it off is amazing. Now it's time. I want to move on. I want to start my own brand. I want to start my own thing. I want to do my own thing, and I really want to just push and kind of be my own person, my own thing, my own brand. I really want to do all that. I have parted ways with MrBeast and the MrBeast channel. It's now time for Jake the Viking take.
As more clips from Jake's live streams spread across social media, curiosity continued to grow about what may have happened within the MrBeast team behind closed doors. Fans quickly began comparing Jake's newer comments with what he originally said in his farewell video, and many people felt the difference was hard to ignore. In the beginning, he praised the team and said everything had ended peacefully with no major issues. Later, however, he made more vague remarks that led some viewers to wonder if there had been a very different story unfolding behind the scenes all along.
Everyone just kept giving me the runaround. Like, hey, why am I not this? Why am I not this? They're like, oh, we're doing a new strategy, or we're doing this, doing that. No one would ever give me like a straightforward answer, but I was still getting paid.
They was paying you, but you wasn't working.
I was sitting home streaming. And then finally, April, they hired an HR lady. So I told her a bunch of the issues that I had with the company, some of the wrongs that have been done. I get a call from her. She goes, hey, we're ready for your follow-up. I was like, is it good or bad? She goes, it's a follow-up. And they straight up hit me with it's one of those, your piece doesn't fit the puzzle, and it's brand protection because you did a brand deal with a CBD company.
Things became even more intense once online communities started digging through old interviews, tweets, live streams, and even deleted clips, searching for anything that might suggest tension had been building behind the scenes for years. Every old post and video suddenly became part of the conversation as people tried to piece the timeline together. Some people believe Jake stayed quiet at first to avoid public drama and protect relationships connected to the channel. Others thought his tone only began changing after MrBeast's reputation came under heavier scrutiny from multiple online controversies. But Jake was not the only former crew member whose comments sparked new questions. After his remarks started spreading widely, several other former employees also began speaking publicly about their own experiences and perspectives. What made the situation seem even more unusual was how many people felt the pattern looked surprisingly similar almost every single time.
It's only been 4 months, and I was like, all right, obviously.
Yeah, something going on
Something's
here.
going on. Like, no one can give me straight answers. I had even texted Jimmy at one point. He goes, yeah, let's talk, this like Thursday or whatever. Never heard back from him. I was like, all right, well, since I keep getting asked for 4 months, why aren't you in videos? Why aren't you in videos? So I was messaging Daryl, because Daryl, again, was the only person that would actually have a conversation with me. I messaged Daryl, and I was like, well, is it cool if I make a video kind of like explaining what all happened so I can just tell people to go to that? He goes, yeah, you'll just have to send it to me for approval. I was like, all right, cool. So the video that you see on Why I Love MrBeast had to get approved by Daryl. And so I posted that with no idea it was going to blow up the way it did. For a little while, if you just typed in MrBeast in the YouTube search bar, my video was the first thing to show up. And then all of a sudden, it disappeared. The views disappeared on my channel as well after that, but that's fine. 1.7 million subscribers with really good thumbnails and titles, and my video can't even get 10,000 views.
That consistency became another major topic of discussion across social media. Several former workers initially spoke positively about MrBeast in public interviews and videos, but some later shared comments suggesting they believed there were significant problems or challenges behind the scenes. One former employee who drew major attention during these discussions was Soar Turner, whose remarks quickly sparked even more conversation and debate across social media. He uploaded a video titled "Why I Quit Working for MrBeast," which has since been deleted, and at first, he spoke fairly positively about his time with the team. Early viewers came away with the impression that he appreciated the opportunity and enjoyed being part of the channel as it grew rapidly and reached new levels of success. As time passed, however, people began revisiting his earlier comments and wondering if there was more to the story than they had first realized.
MrBeast paid for my rent every month when I lived in North Carolina, and he said, all right, you can live here as long as you want. You can literally stay in this like pretty expensive apartment just until you feel comfortable leaving. Don't feel like you're in a rush. Stay as long as you want. Stay for months if you want to. It doesn't matter to us. They're still paying me right now. I'm still technically working. I'm not going to give like any numbers or anything. They said we're still going to pay you for a while, and that is basically funding my trip to backpack across Asia. He's saying you don't have to work for me, but I'll still pay you, and because of that, I hope that lets you live in LA, go to college, backpack Asia. Whatever you want to do after this, I want to set you up for that. And the job is still an amazing job. If you have the opportunity to get this job that I had, totally take it. It's a lot of fun. It was basically just like a friendship, and going to work was a blast each and every.
Then the situation took an unexpected turn. Turner shared a lengthy post on X that appeared to contrast with the positive tone of his original video, and it quickly drew widespread attention online. Many fans were surprised because the post described what he alleged was a much more difficult experience working behind the scenes, leading to another wave of discussion and debate across social media. Turner claimed that editing for the channel was one of the most mentally exhausting periods of his life. According to his account, he constantly felt pressured, heavily criticized, and easily replaceable while working with the team. He also alleged that the demands became so overwhelming they led to ongoing stress and emotional strain during his time there.
All I've seen is people praise MrBeast, whether that be just people around me, people online. Everyone's like, this is the best guy on the planet. And while he is definitely a good guy, I'm not going to take anything away from his charitable efforts that he's done. It does get annoying when the person that everyone knows as a saint, you know, as someone who's the complete opposite. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, just like actors, MrBeast and Jimmy Donaldson are two different people. This is basically just a compilation of all the videos MrBeast made thus far on his channel of him giving away money, adding up to him hitting $500,000. It's like, I want you to get every time I've ever given away money, add it up in the corner, and it should equal $500,000. I was like, this isn't gonna work because you clickbait. He'd be like, no, I swear, I did the math. I was like, all right, man, for sure. 8 hours passes by, I finish editing the video, and instead of the $500,000 he wants it to hit, it's maybe $410,000, and I'm like, Jimmy, clickbait is a thing you need to take into consideration. It came to a point where he's like, you know what, just start over, man. Deletes the project file, is like, start from scratch. Even if you delete the project file and make me restart and make me recut up all these clips, I can't make this equal $500,000. I am going insane. I don't know how you want me to do this.
According to Turner, even small editing mistakes could bring sharp criticism, leaving workers feeling discouraged and unfairly blamed even when some problems were outside their control. He further claimed that editors rarely received enough recognition for their contributions. Turner also alleged that some employees felt discouraged from building independent careers after leaving the team. In his statements, he suggested there was concern behind the scenes that giving editors too much public recognition could help them become successful creators on their own later. Those claims quickly added even more attention to the growing controversy. Turner also alleged that creative ideas were sometimes used without enough appreciation or proper credit being given. He described what he claimed was an extremely demanding work environment where employees felt constant pressure and believed it was difficult to meet expectations, no matter how much effort they put in. Turner further claimed that staff members were asked to re-sign non-disclosure agreements while being told these were supposedly their glory days, an allegation that quickly spread across social media and sparked another wave of online discussion. That entire thread spread rapidly across social media and quickly became one of the earliest major controversies tied to claims about MrBeast's workplace environment. As Turner's comments gained traction, online discussions quickly split into two camps. Some fans defended MrBeast, arguing that running one of the biggest YouTube channels in the world naturally involves intense pressure, strict deadlines, and high expectations. Others, however, felt Turner's allegations were too detailed to dismiss outright, especially as additional former employees began sharing their own accounts around the same period. The story moved across social media at an incredible pace. Screenshots were reposted widely, livestream creators discussed the claims, and people debated whether MrBeast's polished public image matched what former employees alleged happened behind the scenes. For years, many viewers had seen the channel as positive, generous, and entertaining, so hearing these allegations came as a surprise to longtime fans. Another part of the story that caught people's attention was a pattern some viewers believed they were noticing. Several former employees initially spoke positively about MrBeast in public, but later shared claims describing stressful experiences or challenging working conditions after leaving the team. Those similarities fueled even more discussion and speculation online. Even with these accusations circulating online, MrBeast and his team denied wrongdoing and largely continued operating as usual. It's also important to note that people outside the situation cannot fully verify everything that did or did not happen behind closed doors. Many of the allegations were never publicly proven, and different people have offered very different accounts of the events. Even so, as more controversies surfaced over time, some viewers began feeling that the claims no longer seemed as unlikely as they once did.
One video I was in, I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. People don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well. They weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. The lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep. And I have insomnia problems now. They might have started there. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend, and I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is, and you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. People who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Writer. So I look like I run. I don't run, let alone a marathon.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
There was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know? You get up, I wanted the cash, and so I start running at 12. I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. When I got off the treadmill, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out.
Turner also said he had not originally planned to make a full video about his experience working with the team. However, after becoming frustrated over what he believed was a lack of accountability, he later uploaded another video discussing his perspective before eventually deleting that one as well. Fans quickly rushed to watch the video and repost clips before it disappeared, which only brought even more attention to the story across social media. One detail that left many people confused was that several of the individuals criticizing MrBeast had previously spoken very positively about him in older videos and interviews. That became one of the biggest reasons the internet remained so divided over the controversy. Some viewers believed these former employees were finally sharing experiences they had chosen to keep private for years. Others questioned the timing and wondered whether the renewed attention was influenced by the story's growing popularity and the increased visibility it received across social media. Some people argued that things may have genuinely been peaceful when these creators first left the team. They pointed out that, at the time, former employees still benefited from being associated with one of YouTube's biggest creators, and videos with titles like "Why I Left MrBeast" naturally drew huge audiences. Critics of the former employees later claimed that once that attention faded and the connection to MrBeast's audience became less direct, the tone of some public comments appeared to change. Around that period, more expose-style videos, live-stream discussions, and critical posts began spreading across social media, bringing the topic back into the spotlight. At the same time, many viewers argued that it was difficult to ignore the fact that multiple former employees had shared accounts describing similar workplace concerns. While the allegations have not all been publicly proven, recurring claims involving pressure, stress, demanding workloads, and workplace treatment continued to fuel online discussion. That pattern alone kept the controversy active across YouTube, TikTok, and X, with creators and fans continuing to debate the situation. Supporters of MrBeast argued that nearly every large entertainment company has former employees who leave with negative experiences, especially when major productions, tight deadlines, and significant budgets are involved. Critics, however, responded that the growing number of public accounts made the issue seem larger than a handful of dissatisfied former workers sharing complaints online. Over time, discussions about MrBeast expanded beyond viral challenges and giveaways to include ongoing questions, differing perspectives, and continued speculation about what may have happened behind the scenes. Then another major controversy grabbed the internet's attention. DogPack 404 released a documentary-style video presenting a series of allegations about MrBeast and his team, claiming there were serious issues behind the scenes. The video included allegations involving staged challenges, misleading editing, workplace culture, and production safety during certain large-scale shoots. MrBeast and his team have disputed various allegations made against them. The video also raised claims about how some production participants were allegedly treated, and the reaction online was immediate. Many viewers felt the accusations, if proven true, could seriously affect MrBeast's public reputation.
By day like 5, when he comes in and does basically the same thing and just scraps my whole video and asks me to do it again, I'm like, dude, let me take a walk, man. I specifically walked to a good friend who worked there at the Times office about 30 seconds away. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do right now. I can't edit this video for like another day. He wants me to come in on the weekend and do the same thing. I'm literally gonna go crazy. And that's when Jimmy hears me talking about how aggravated I'm getting with the situation and apparently like talking shit behind his back, which I really wasn't. I just wanted like help. Comes in the room and he goes, "You absolute fucking get back in that fucking room or I swear to God, Turner. Jesus Christ, how many fucking times do I have to tell you how to edit this video? What are you, a fucking..."
Large numbers of people discussed DogPack's claims, while YouTube commentary and drama channels covered the story extensively across social media. Later, however, the conversation shifted again. Reports began circulating online claiming that parts of an unreleased third video allegedly contained false or misleading information. As those reports spread, more people started questioning DogPack's credibility, and the debate quickly became even more divided as different sides argued over which claims were reliable. Some viewers argued that if important details in one part of the expose turned out to be inaccurate, it naturally became more difficult to fully trust some of the earlier allegations as well. Even so, one section of DogPack's content continued drawing major attention across social media. It featured an interview with former employee Jake Weddle, whose account many viewers described as one of the most emotional and troubling stories connected to the MrBeast team. Many people felt Jake Weddle appeared genuinely emotional while describing his experiences behind the scenes. If events happened the way he alleged, it helped explain why the discussion became so intense online. At the same time, others pointed out that internet controversies can quickly grow beyond the available facts, especially because dramatic stories often receive more clicks, attention, and widespread coverage. Because of that, some viewers remained skeptical and said they wanted more independent evidence before accepting every claim as fact, noting that much of the public discussion centered on Jake's own account and interviews. While debates over those allegations were still unfolding, another major controversy suddenly took over the conversation online: the Ava Chris Tyson situation. By that point, Ava Chris Tyson was already one of the most recognizable people associated with the MrBeast brand. Ava had appeared alongside MrBeast since the channel's early years and had become a familiar face to millions of viewers. MrBeast had even said that Ava was his very first subscriber, highlighting how closely connected their friendship in the channel had been from the very beginning. That is why the backlash that erupted in July 2024 drew so much attention across the internet. Allegations surfaced accusing Ava Chris Tyson of engaging in inappropriate online conversations with a minor, and social media quickly filled with reactions, debates, live streams, and commentary. The allegations received widespread coverage, though it is important to distinguish allegations from established facts. As screenshots and other material continued circulating online, many viewers viewed the accusations as extremely serious, leading to intense criticism across multiple platforms. Ava was also criticized over alleged interactions with content connected to internet artist Shadman, whose work has faced significant backlash because of controversial depictions involving youthful-looking characters. The controversy quickly expanded beyond Ava alone, and many people began asking a new question: whether anyone else connected to the team knew about the alleged behavior before it became public. Because Ava had been one of MrBeast's closest collaborators, and one of the longest-running members of the channel, online discussion soon shifted toward what, if anything, others may have known over the years. Not long after the backlash reached its peak, Ava released a public statement responding to the controversy. In the statement, Ava apologized to anyone who had been hurt by past jokes or online behavior and announced a decision to permanently step away from MrBeast-related projects and social media.
Former employee Lorraine Mavromatis filing a federal lawsuit in North Carolina, claiming she faced discrimination, retaliation, was required to work while on maternity leave, and was terminated within a few weeks of returning to the job, told she was too high caliber for the position. NBC News spoke with Mavromatis today in a broadcast exclusive.
I do not want to be silenced anymore. I really want to use my voice.
In the complaint, she alleges that she rose quickly inside the company after starting in 2022, but after raising concerns about sexual harassment, was demoted and transferred into what the lawsuit calls a division where, quote, careers go to die. MrBeast spokeswoman responding to NBC News, saying Mavromatis' position was eliminated as part of a restructuring, adding in a statement, quote, this clout-chasing complaint is built on deliberate misrepresentations and categorically false statements, and we have the receipts to prove it. There is extensive evidence, including Slack and WhatsApp messages, company documents, and witness testimony that unequivocally refutes her claims. We will not submit to opportunistic lawyers looking to manufacture.
Rather than ending the debate, however, the statement led to even more discussion, with some viewers saying it did not directly address all of the allegations in the way they expected. Ava also denied allegations of inappropriate behavior and noted that one person frequently referenced in online discussions had publicly disputed some of the claims circulating on social media. Alongside those denials, Ava apologized for past jokes, immature behavior, and older posts that many people found offensive or inappropriate. The statement further argued that separate controversies had been combined into a broader narrative that Ava believed did not accurately reflect the situation. Ava acknowledged that past humor and conduct were immature and said efforts had been made over the years to grow and change. Even after the statement was released, online debate showed no signs of slowing down. Some people felt the apology was overly cautious, while others argued that stepping away from the MrBeast brand and public projects represented a significant consequence on its own. Regardless of those differing opinions, the controversy continued to dominate conversations across social media. Because Ava had been such a major part of the channel for so many years, many people began asking whether any warning signs had been missed behind the scenes. Critics continued calling for more answers, while supporters argued that MrBeast should not automatically be held responsible for another person's alleged actions without clear evidence showing he knew about them. Eventually, MrBeast released his own public statement addressing the controversy. He said Ava was no longer part of the team and stated that he did not support the behavior described in the allegations being discussed online. The statement spread rapidly across social media, with fans and commentators closely examining every detail and debating what it might mean. From a public relations standpoint, some viewers believed this was the most practical response to protect both his reputation and his business.
Lawsuit also alleges Mavromatis was contacted to work while on maternity leave, and that the company never gave her required notice of her rights under the Family and Medical Leave Act.
Jimmy Donaldson himself, he says that you've got to get the job done, and there's no excuses.
Her suit claims she feared retaliation if she refused to work during her leave and was on a work conference call while in the labor and delivery room and traveled to Brazil for a shoot with soccer star Neymar a few weeks after giving birth.
But if Neymar wins, I will donate it to whatever charity he chooses.
No mother would want to leave their newborn baby behind to go to work, especially out of the country when you're breastfeeding your baby. That's the last thing that I wanted to do.
Documents obtained by NBC News show Mavromatis' signature on an employee handbook dated 4 days before giving birth, which laid out the company's maternity leave policies, something Mavromatis says she doesn't remember.
So you never signed any sort of FMLA documents 4 days before you gave birth?
No, I do not recall signing, and I was never informed of my...
Others had hoped for a longer, more detailed video, while some felt a brief statement and creating distance from the controversy was the better approach. Later, MrBeast also said an internal legal review had been launched and continued to state that he had no prior knowledge of the allegations before they became public. Even now, the situation remains heavily debated, with ongoing discussions about what MrBeast may or may not have known before the controversy emerged. Some critics argued that it would have been difficult for someone who had worked so closely with Ava for many years to know absolutely nothing about the behavior being discussed online. Others responded that there is still no confirmed public evidence showing MrBeast knew about any alleged inappropriate conduct before the controversy became public, and they cautioned against treating speculation as fact. While that debate was still unfolding, another controversy soon emerged that many viewers considered even more significant. Reports surfaced that a former employee had filed a lawsuit involving serious workplace-related allegations, bringing the dispute into the legal system and drawing widespread public attention. Because the matter involved formal legal claims, many people began following the story even more closely. To many observers, this situation felt different from the usual YouTube expose videos or viral social media threads because it centered on legal proceedings rather than online commentary alone. According to public reports, the lawsuit was already underway before many of the major interviews, reaction videos, and viral discussions gained momentum. That led some critics to question public responses that they felt downplayed the dispute as ordinary internet drama or an attempt to gain attention. As news of the lawsuit spread, several major news organizations also reported on the case, highlighting how much public attention the controversy had received while the legal process continued. Supporters of MrBeast argued that allegations alone should never be treated as proof of wrongdoing and emphasized that claims made in lawsuits still need to be evaluated through the legal process. Critics, however, responded that the growing number of former employees publicly describing concerns about the workplace made the broader discussion more difficult for them to dismiss. For years, MrBeast built one of YouTube's biggest and most recognizable brands through massive giveaways, charity-focused videos, and large-scale productions watched by millions around the world. Now, instead of focusing only on viral challenges and entertainment, much of the online conversation has shifted toward allegations involving his team, workplace culture, and how productions were reportedly managed behind the scenes. Many viewers have followed the story closely because they see it as different from a typical creator feud or short-lived internet controversy. Since the dispute reportedly moved into the legal system rather than remaining only on social media, some people viewed the allegations as more significant, while others stressed that legal claims should not be considered established facts until they are properly resolved. At this point, nobody knows exactly how everything will ultimately play out, and the internet remains deeply divided over MrBeast. Some people believe certain former employees may have exaggerated their stories to gain attention, while others think the repeated allegations could suggest broader issues that deserve closer examination. Either way, the situation continues evolving as new developments, public statements, and online discussions keep adding fresh layers to an already highly debated story.